All right, let's see if we made it. Let's see if I made this thing happen. I see the Off-Grid Suburban Project is here. Thank you much. Joe and Ohio, that is a fact. Arkansas Prepper, welcome, welcome. Susie Cat. Malachi's Corner. Gosh, I'm so blessed you're here already. This is going to be a wonderful stream. Howdy. Howdy. Mosey on up to the bar. All right. Hey, Mountain Man, Russell. All right, we're all showing up. Yeah, it's good to see the girls in here this early. They usually wait and make sure somebody isn't in here before they come in. I think that's how that kind of works. What's going on? Chase, welcome, my friend. But I have to really read some names because I get a lot of new people. Been a fun week, has it? I've had a great week. I loved it. I got to go to Columbus last night. Hey, Bill, what's going on, my friend? Hello from Alabama. Hey, Frank. Snowing here. I just like, so do I. I had a tiny bit of snow on the ground here. Driving to Columbus last night, I was worried about it, but it didn't quite get that far south, so I didn't have any snow in Columbus last night. And I picked Alex up this morning about 7:30. This is where he was. He brought this back for me, one of the things he brought back. I now have a Philippines hat. I got food poisoning. Oh, no. You didn't eat any of Ed's peaches, did you? You were down there kissing him, were you? You better not have been. Frontier Survival. Howdy, my friend. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. That sucks to get food poisoning around Thanksgiving. Hello, Red Rooster. Man, I wish I could read. I gotta figure out how some people do this stuff. 1 second after, what's going on? We're getting some snow in Michigan. Break out the popcorn. Yeah. You know, I saw the snow in Michigan because I got to watch Ohio State beat Michigan. Finally. 6 years you guys have beaten us. We finally got one. Hey, Diane, what's going on? Kissing. Sorry, I couldn't resist after he had his bout with food poisoning. But yeah, it was finally a fun game to watch. Ohio State, Michigan. I think the Buckeyes are going to be back-to-back national champions. At least I'm hoping they will. Dr. Pepper. So Ed's, my friend Ed, not Ed in New York, but Ed who helped us on the roof. He's coming out tomorrow. Gary's coming out tomorrow. And we're going to finish putting the ridge cap on and the siding on the side of the gable. And the roof essentially will be done then. I actually ate a microwave meal I got from... Wow. That sucks. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, the Dr. Pepper fun. I didn't even think about that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I saw, let's see, Wednesday, I ran into the dollar store for something, the Dollar General there in Wheeling. I had to run and get something. And I didn't have my wallet with me. They had Dr. Pepper 2 liters, three for $5 or three for $4. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna buy them out. So I filled up my basket, got up there, realized I didn't even take my wallet with me. I had $2 or $3 in the truck that I used to pay for what I had to get. And when I got home, I told Gail, I said, look, I'm going up there tomorrow or Friday and picking up all the Dr. Pepper, and forgot all about it. Steve don't mind. Oh my God. I don't want to talk about that. I'm glad he got to go to New York, though. That's cool. But anyway, we should have the roof. I still, that the thing with the title of this thing, thinking outside the box. That's what I did with the roof. Connect. That's still a lot of people are telling me that's not going to work. That's not going to work. After I proved it does work, but it's not finished. It's far from being finished. Just my proof of concept. Because everybody said you got to run the ridge all the way over to Alex's. You got to cut out Alex's, put valleys in there, and all this shit. And I'm like, I don't have the money for that. I got to find a different way to do it and see if this works before I spend that kind of money. This is going to work fine. Tomorrow is phase 2 of that little project. I'm going to store tomorrow as I need stuff for this week. Yeah, I'm going to go. I got to do a Walmart run for out here. the last couple weekends have been so strange, not staying out here, not being able to. I mean, I came out today. I went to Columbus last night, spent the night there in Columbus, and I took Alex home, and I came back out here today and realized I don't have anything in here. I have to make a big run because I'm going to start staying out here, 3 and 4 days at a time again, working inside. Oh, Grid Sperma Project. Are you digging a bunker? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's the main focus of my project. I don't care about the house or the roof or any of those. I got to get that bunker done. It's coming. I don't need a bunker. I got a barn. Yeah, no. I'm going to tell you something funny about my wife. I was telling Gary about this. She is this kind of person, doesn't matter what we have in the house, she has to go to Kroger's every day for something. And I'm like, okay, that kind of defeats the purpose. But I've been taking over the cooking. I've been learning how to cook and buy groceries and things like that. I'm learning. Teresa, hi. Welcome to the chat. My people told me you can't mount solar panels on the roof of an old Suburban. Been about 7 years now. Exactly. That's what you do. Hey Leroy, welcome, buddy. That's what I'm saying. It's like this is the way I'm doing this house is not conventional at all. It's not. So you got to do things that people say won't work. You got to try them. And Gary will attest to this. I spent 8 months talking about different ways of doing it and thinking about how I could do this before I finally came up with this plan. And even the weekend we put that flashing in and did that, we were still, making changes to make sure that this worked. So don't just say, oh, you have to do it this way because. It goes back to the same thing with the electric. Oh, you have to have 200 amp service. You do not. Don't, I don't know why they do that. I don't know why all this stuff, you have to do it this way. This is what the book says. This is how you have to do it. Don't worry about the book. Just do it. Save a small piece of your factory siding and color match the paint. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I'm going to get the paint from the guy who built the shed, the company that does the sheds. I've got some trim I've got to order from him, but that's a really good idea. Is taking a piece of that down. That's a really good idea. I'm glad you mentioned that because I will do that. We came back. We need to get a water system that won't freeze. That's a tricky thing to do. That really is. I dealt with freezing problems here. Now, when I do my thing here for the house with the water, it's going to be in a heated room. The storage is going to be in a heated place by itself. It'll be insulated and heated, so it won't be as bad. People got these ideas. Things should be a certain way, but realistically, it comes down to working with what you got. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I have I'm doing this with very little money. I have to save every place I can. And I could not spend $1,000 right now trying to do the roof the way everybody says the conventional way it's supposed to be done. I bought a $40 roll of flashing. That kept everything dry. We've had plenty of rain since I did that. It's not even finished. And there's no water inside that house. So, Bill, that's the good thing about carpentry. It's all fully adjustable. Exactly. Tell Gary that. We can adjust it. I keep having to remind him we're doing rough carpentry here. If it has that 30 seconds of an inch gap, it's okay. We're going to get past that. I do the Lisa Douglas plug and shuffle sometimes. There you go. Yep. Redwood, do like cattle farmers. Drop a heating element into the water container. Yeah, that's a good idea. And that probably is a good idea if you have electric. If you're off grid, that might be a problem. Smoky Mountain off grid. Hey, Joe. Well, I'm just doing dandy. How are you, bud? Dave is in the barn. All right. Fully adjustable within a 16th of an inch. That's right. That's our running joke now. It's within a 16th of an inch. We can live with it. But yeah, the guy that built the shed, I got to place an order with him for some trim and stuff because I don't know where else to buy it. But we've got blocking to do. But after Ed is done tomorrow, my Ed, I'm going to call him Edward. After Edward is finished tomorrow with doing the siding on that gable end, he's a skinny, lightweight, younger guy that climbs up on the roof for us. But I'll get that all closed in. And then Monday, I mean, Gary and I might come out here and do some stuff. I'm anxious to cut the hole through the wall into Alex's building. I want to do that. I wanted to do that today, but I don't feel right doing it without Gary. Gary should be here to do that too. So he could be a part of that. There you go. Bill knows. That's how we do it. Sheds are looking good. Thank you. I appreciate that. They are. I'm so tickled with how it's coming together. I really am. It's just what I wanted. And when I came out here last Wednesday, after all that, it rained from 4 o'clock Tuesday morning until Tuesday night. I mean, we got an inch and a half, 2 inches of rain. I had puddles out here. It was that bad. And when I walked in that house and there was no water in there, I was like, I almost had tears in my eyes. I was so happy. So I'm gonna do. My idea is: does it work? Does it look okay? Should I paint it or trim it? There you go. That's all there is to it. That's what one guy said. Oh, I can see daylight at the ends of the gable ends. Well, yeah, we have nothing up there yet. Of course you see daylight. At least I would think so. Um, yeah, I was just tickled to death that there was no rain, no water, and I went in today, nothing. But it's like I said, it's not done yet. It's still a work in progress. It's getting there. But that was, like I said, that was my proof of concept. I know it will work now. Uh, and I've told everybody. We've told our family. I've told friends. For Christmas, I need a toilet, a vanity, a shower, plumbing supplies, because that's the next project. That's all I want for Christmas is a commode. So I can start hooking up plumbing. Uh, but yeah, we'll caulk and paint, make it what it ain't. Oh, I like that. Okay, that's going to become one of my favorite sayings. Caulk and paint, make it what it ain't. Exactly. Malachi's Corner. I'm happy watching your progress, Joe. Learning about it. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. That's what all this is for. Could you possibly use clear roof panels in an area for natural light? I don't know why you couldn't. Um, yeah, they make them. I just never thought about that. But yeah, you absolutely could. There's no doubt in my mind. Um, yeah. But yeah, the plan moving forward is when Edward, after tomorrow, then the next step is cutting the hole in the wall into Alex's building, reframing that, framing the bathroom and utility room, and then start running the rest of the wiring throughout the house. That we could get run as simply lights and receptacles, nothing else. I'll get that run, and then insulating and start buying drywall again. Uh, make another run for 20 sheets of drywall. But yeah, once we get the hole knocked in the wall and I get framing in the other building, you'll see how it's all going to lay out. It's going to be a lot better. All right. What else you want to talk about? One thing else I want to talk about, I want to get this out of the way right now. Right? The National Guard that got killed in Washington, D.C. That from West Virginia, and that girl that died. I mean, it was great to see the response from West Virginians. But I'm telling you, here's where it's coming down. This is what it's coming down to, and I've thought about this all week, right? Nobody is going to save us. Nobody is going to fix this problem. It's going to keep happening and keep happening, keep happening. Partially, I'm afraid, by design. I'm saying we have to ourselves make a stand and fix this, because we cannot count on anybody to step in now and help us. The response from our government is just typical. It's all rhetoric. We need to do something. It's going to continue getting worse and worse and worse. And I am pissed off more than I've been pissed off in a long time. Right? I'm just fed up. We have to do something ourselves. We're going to have to group up, and we're going to have to deal with this situation. And we're going to have to kick these people out of this friggin' country ourselves. That's the only way it's going to happen, I believe. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now. I just had to say that. I am, it breaks my heart that something like this is allowed to happen in our capital. That there's even the chance. To me, that should be the spark. That should be the what kicks this thing off, right? I'm pissed. I really am. I don't know what we're going to do, but we got to do something about it. And like I said, it's going to be patriots. We're going to have to do it ourselves. We can depend on nobody else. We know where the problems are. We know what the problems are. We need to take a stand and rectify it. That's all there is to it. All right, I'm sorry about that. Load up on ammo. Yep. Patricia, you're not scared that one building will settle more than the other as yet? I agree, but Trump will get it done. Trump won't get it done. I'm sorry. And yeah, we definitely. I don't care if we have a right to carry everywhere or not. I am doing it. There's no question about it. I don't need to get permission from the government to tell me it's okay to carry. I do it, whether they say I can or not. I don't open carry where I'm really not allowed to, but I don't give a shit. I'm not waiting on somebody to tell me, okay, well, go ahead and carry so you can protect yourself or protect others. I'm not waiting on that. Anyway, Patricia, no, I'm not worried about one building settling or anything. I think that's another thing that people worry too much about. There will be some settlement, but I can adjust for that. I can jack up what I need to and handle it. It's not going to be like plates shifting, but I'm sure there will be some settlement that I will have to deal with. I can jack it up and I can put another piece under something, you know. One of the nice things I was thinking about with my little flashing gutter system, if one building settles a little bit and the other one doesn't, that whole flashing gutter thing has flexibility in it. So if there is a shift, it's not going to break anything there. All of my water will still run off like normal. It's not a hard, connection. I agree, but I don't want to go to jail either. I don't want to go to jail either, but I'm telling you, I want to be safe. I would rather be alive. I'll risk jail before I'll risk death. Yeah, you gotta you gotta look at what you're risking there. Just FYI, Walmart has 12 gauge, 3-inch steel shot, 100 rounds. That's where we're. I mean, we got to do it. My thing is, too many threats everywhere, illegals in trucks, police departments, fire departments, food warehouses, etc. I don't see how you fix that. And I agree with that, Malachi's Corner. Yes, it's going to be tough to fix, but we have to start somewhere. And you know, I hate to say it because I respect and I appreciate how this country was founded and what it's been built from. But I think we start by absolutely shutting down anybody coming into this country. No more visas, no more work things, no more nothing until we figure out what is going on right now and get rid of the ones that need to be gotten rid of. Because we're sending them out and they're coming back in. We're sending them out and they're coming back in. Build a wall around the entire friggin' country. But I'm telling you, nobody comes in now. Give us a break. Let us deal with the situation that we've gotten into right now. No more coming in. You all stay out till we figure this out. We get rid of all the undesirables, and then we will open up back again and do it legally. That's what we're going to have to do. Uh, yes, the government is allowing and aiding the country to collapse. Thank you for answering that question because I'm trying to do the same thing, only 12 by 24 buildings, one behind the other. Yeah, and leave. My suggestion is just do it. With shifting, you can handle that as it happens. We put this cabin on those blocks that you do decks with, floating decks and stuff. That's all, and 4x4 sticking up. That's all it is. I haven't seen a shift in this building in years in this cabin. Everybody told me it's going to collapse from the thing's going to shift. It hasn't yet. Get rid of it and start over. I agree. Start over. What do you think is the government's plan after the country collapse? What is their end game? What's the goal? The end game, the goal is one world, one government, total control of us. They did away with the penny. They're going to do away with they want to do away with cash. They want us to become, Europe's doing it now. It's coming over here, right? Who benefits the most from a cashless society? Who's going to benefit the most from that? I'm going to tell you who benefits from it and who runs this world. This is how this world works. And off subject, but real quick, 50-year mortgages, are you out of your friggin' mind? You cannot do 50-year mortgages. All that does is make the banks even richer, and nobody will ever own. That's a trick. Don't fall for that. That's to say, okay, we lowered the cost of housing for people. That BlackRock is buying all the houses and renting them to people anyway. So we're already on that road to the road to you will own nothing and you will be happy. That's where we're headed. But let me show you why, one of the reasons that they want to go cashless, right? I buy something from Gary's hardware store for $50 cash. I give him 50 bucks. He goes to his suppliers and he spends that $50 cash restocking his stuff. Those companies spend that $50 to buy tooling to build what has to go to Gary's shop. 20, 30 transactions down the road, that $50 is still $50, right? So let's take that now, that exact same situation, and do it with a card, right? So I go to Gary's hardware store and I buy $50 worth of goods and I use a card to buy it. The bank gets 1.5% of that money. Gary uses his card to buy that material to restock the store. The bank gets another 1.5% of that $50. They use the card. They get another 1.5% of that $50. You go 20 or 30 transactions down the road, the bank has that entire $50, right? Every time you use a card, the bank gets the money. That's why we got to stop it. That's who's pressuring us to go cashless, are the money. Follow the money. That's what happens. Okay. Gosh, I hate when I get off on a rant. From what I've seen, is return to serfdom, slavery, with no say. Exactly. When you're stuck in a 50-year mortgage, you will never ever pay that off. So you are in servitude for the rest of your life. That's the dumbest thing Donald Trump ever said, in my opinion. But when you have all the money, that's the way you look at it. That's the way you plan things. Patricia, where's your land at? I'm looking for some now, but can't afford a lot each month. I've been trying to find owner financing. I'm in East Central Ohio. Uh, and there's a company out here called Bruner Land. They buy up these big farms. They get the mineral rights, but they will owner finance you different size lots with 10% down, and they give you payments. I mean, they're out there. I mean, good luck. I don't know where you're looking, but it's getting mighty expensive these days. Nick Cab, what's up, Nick? What's going on? My best friend from New York. I swear to God. The only guy I like from New York. But yeah, we had a great one, Nick. I thank you so much for asking that. How about that? All right. We already own nothing. Miss paying your property taxes. That's true. I mean, we aren't going to own anything. People can live in 1,000 square foot houses. Young people could never afford $200,000 house rent. Exactly. That's it. Exactly, Arkansas Prepper. You know, and it's the Black Rocks and the Vanguards that will go in and buy 10 houses in a neighborhood for a super inflated price, which causes the value of all the other houses to skyrocket to where nobody can afford them. BlackRock will buy them and then they will rent them to you. The house you used to own, you're now going to pay $2,500 a month to rent. Red Rooster tells how you really feel. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate when I get off on rants like that, but it just pisses me off. Yeah, they also want 15-year car loans. Uh, I was up in Green Bay last weekend. I was driving through Ohio. I should have stopped. Yes, absolutely, Nick. You can stop by anytime, buddy. Uh, Give me advance notice. I'll try to get tickets if during the season. I'll try to get us tickets to go see the Penguins. I know that's your favorite team. I'll see if I can get us some. Yeah, that's another problem, Ernie. Speaking of cars, you want to know what the next collapse is going to come from? Think about this. 70, 80, $90,000 trucks, $100,000 trucks, right? Alex's truck was $72,000. He's paying $1,000 a month for a truck payment. Now he's got a great job and he makes the money. But think about the people that are paying $1,000 and $1,200 a month for 6 years, 7 years on a car note for a truck that is now worth $35,000. They still owe $60,000, $70,000 on it, but it only has a value of $35,000, right? When are these going to be, people are going to say, screw that, I'm not paying that anymore. This thing is not worth it. I let the bank have it back. People start doing that. Now the banks are stuck with these $35,000 vehicles that they paid $60,000, $70,000 for. Now we're going to have to take all the government money, borrow it from Ukraine probably, because we gave them half of our money, to bail out the banks once again, because they're going to, all these people are going to start crashing on these car loans. Yeah, the insurance companies are getting out of it. Ernie, that's crazy, but the bottom line is you have to live within your means. You know what? That's a good saying. You have to live within your means. Absolutely. That's a wonderful thing to think about, a wonderful way to approach life. But every friggin' month they change the means that you have to live within, right? Every month it costs you more and more, so you can't live within your means. You have to live below your means now. I'm trying to buy things for this house, to build this house. Every month the price changes on stuff. I can't afford to buy a toilet today, but next month when I have the money to buy the toilet, it will have gone up $25. I'll spend the month saving for that. And when I get ready to go in and buy it, guess what? Now it's another $25 on top of it. That's what's going on. And you got a president who's telling you that he has brought down the cost of living. He has brought this stuff down and brought down inflation and the greatest economy this country's ever had. Right? Bullshit. Don't buy it this time. Everybody bought into it before. Inflation has slowed, but it hasn't stopped. It's still growing. Everything is growing except pay, and everybody's getting laid off again. We're doomed. Unless we take a stand, we are doomed. Nick, you're absolutely right, Joe. Your best bet, yeah, buy that $75,000 truck at an auction when somebody defaults on it. Patricia, I wouldn't have a new truck. They cost a fortune. I'll stick to my old Dodge Ram. It's bad enough, but at least I would. Exactly. I got that, 2006 F-150. Right? It's ugly. It's starting to get rust cancer on it and everything. But you know what? It's paid for. And I can fix it. They already are crashing on car loans. Car makers are going to have to be bailed out again. You're right, they are. You can't afford a house anymore. They've taken that away. For that part of the American dream is gone because it takes 4 or 5 salaries to buy a house now, right? They've priced you completely out of new cars unless you stay in debt beyond belief forever. They've priced you out of that one. They're starting to all fall. Nicholas, all right. Live in poverty and make the government happy. That's it, Russell. That's exactly it. Tommy, what's going on? Need to do away with property taxes. Yeah, I agree entirely. I'm 68 years old. I'm a veteran. I think veterans especially shouldn't, once you've retired, you shouldn't have to pay property taxes, on anything. But you know what? All this property tax, all this shit, all started at the same time by the Rockefellers. They're the ones who figured all this shit out. Everything started in 1914. In 1915, we got into World War I. I've been looking on Marketplace to buy things and get online and check out prices before I go to the store. I found wiring 12 by 2, 200 feet for $139 at Ace. Exactly. I look at Marketplace every day. But even Marketplace is getting crazy because those people know the cost of things. If you go to the store, it used to be super, super bargains on Marketplace. In the last 2 or 3 years, that's all changed because now you got the people getting greedy, not wanting to help each other out. You know? Oh, yeah, taxing Social Security is beyond ridiculous. It's bad enough they took it all as taxed money. They kept it free for 40 years, right? And now to give it back to you, you have to pay a tax to get it back. After they got 40 years worth of interest on it, now they're making you pay a tax. It's a total ripoff. We're all getting ripped off. Joe, I have to say I'm blessed. I bought my house 10 years ago for $270,000. Thank God it did that time. Now it's worth over 700. Oh yeah, absolutely, Nick. But you know what? It's like the problem here. We bought this for $26,000. I think we bought St. Bernard Acres. I've put 20 in it probably. In reality, 20 or 30,000. I could sell it for $200,000 tomorrow, but I can't replace it for $200,000. That's the problem. It would be great to get all that money, but I can't replace it. Yep. Where are you going to go? Exactly. I don't know where to go. The entire problem is far too much government. They get far too many freebies, retirement, their family, high salaries. We need far less government. That is a fact. We need a lot less government. Man, we need no government, is what we need. We need to, as a people, start banding together and working together, not with the government. You know, the government's plan is working exactly like they want it. They want everybody on food stamps. They want everybody on medical cards. They want you in government housing because then they totally control you. And that's what they want. That's what they're trying to force us into now, the middle class. They're forcing us into that, right? That's the final plan because they will control everything then. That's where we're headed. As a people, we need to group together and work amongst ourselves. We need to already be learning how to barter with each other and learn how to help each other out before society is totally lost any compassion. There's very little compassion left for people, right? My thing is, with my friends, find as much as I can do to help my friends out and get help from them. Forget anybody else. We have to take care of our own. It is us against the government. That's what it's becoming. Oh, I know. 100. Besides all the taxes we pay, we have to pay a fire tax in Wheeling anyway. And the dollar they take from us every. Remember that, Ernie? They take $1, $2 every week just for the city of Wheeling. I don't remember even what that's for, but they take that now. $19.84. That's it, Tom. It's absolutely right. What middle class? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree, Malachi's Corner. We are going broke. Sons of Liberty on History Channel. Yep. Russell, vote. I'm done with that too. I think I really believe they still allow us to vote so that we have an illusion of choice. I don't really think we have the choice anymore, but the voting gives us that illusion. And what good does it do to vote when 20 Muslims got voted into office? Right? What good is it to do when Omar gets voted into Congress? What are we voting for? You know? They've packed these places with all of these immigrants that are not legal, but they let them vote. Look what voting is happening. Look what's happening in the voting. Wow, 9.75 sales tax. That's why we got to work with each other. We have to get rid of this. Somehow we are running out of time, you know? Oh, that's right. That's right. They started taking that for the new fire building, fire headquarters. Now, why we have to pay a fire tax, why that wouldn't pay for it, I don't know. But now we have to pay another, if you think about it, that's another $100 a year per person in Wheeling, you know. Oh, yeah, Nick. I was wondering about that. But it's going to get to the point where you're not going to have buyers, Nick. You know, your house may be valued at $1 million someday. Find somebody who can afford to buy it. That's part of the problem. And like Teresa said, now you have to pay insurance for $1 million home, not a $270,000 home that you bought. Right? I can place $200,000 value on the property here, but I have to find a buyer who's not in the same situation as me. I couldn't find something else. You have to be born in the U.S. to be president. That does not apply to Congress. It's not going to apply to the president soon. Trust me, that's all being changed. They are standing there in these cities telling us, yes, Islam is taking over the world. The Muslims are taking us down from within, and we're sitting on our asses watching it happen. They're throwing it in our faces. That's why it goes back to what I first said. Nobody comes in this country again. There should be a 5-year moratorium on anybody entering this country. Give us 5 years to fix the mess that we're in now with nobody else coming in. Let us vet everybody here, right? Spend our resources we have what's inside the country already and get rid of their asses. Then we can talk about opening it back up again and letting people apply for visas, letting people apply for citizenship. But there has to be a moratorium on the entire world is not welcome in the United States right now. Let us fix our problem and then we can invite you in later. That's the only way to fix it, in my book. Yeah, the toll road to pay for the, oh, you know about that, Malachi's Corner. As a trucker, all the tolls go to companies in Australia, and other countries own the tolls now. The toll roads are owned by foreign countries. That's where all the money goes. But yes, it was put in there to build the road. Once the road's paid for, then you won't have to pay a toll anymore. That's easy money for them. Nick, it's not just the Chinese. I'm sure the Chinese are doing it, but it's also the BlackRocks and the Vanguards. They're buying them. What did Trump do, Red Rooster? Tell me what he did. I know what he says. He talks a really big game. Yep, we're going to get rid of all of them. I want to see it. I'm tired of being told by Trump what he's doing. I want to see it. Biden lied to us. At least he let us see he was lying to us. Yeah, I look at Europe. I see what's going on there, and that's what's coming here. That's the test. They're going to find out where all the little bugs are in that system and then bring the perfected system over here to the United States. Yeah, Joe, what was the deal last week? Like I said, I drove from Green Bay to New York. The toll roads in Illinois and Indiana and Ohio cost me almost, yeah. I paid $60 each way. I got home $120. Exactly. Because Australia owns the toll road in Ohio. Spain owns a couple of toll roads. It's not going to us. It's going to foreign countries who bought the toll roads. It's a business. We don't stop it. We allow it to happen because the people that are elected to represent the United States citizen no longer represents the United States citizen. They represent themselves and whatever foreign interest will pay them the most money. That's what The entire political system needs to be destroyed entirely. You know, that's we have no alternative. We are running out. We're running out of time. I keep getting emails, letters, phone calls from land companies with offers to buy my 20 place. Who are they representing? Themselves. Because they're going to offer it to you because they figure all of us are depressed right now. We're all, needing money. They'll come in and offer you cash money so that they can turn around and add 30% or 40% to it and land contract it to somebody else. They don't want your land for anything other than to turn around and make another sale on it. They're not going to give you market value for it. I get the same stuff all the time. Unfortunately, it's only going to get worse. No politician is going to. That's a fact. No politician will ever save us from the top to the bottom. If they work in a public office, they're on the take. They only got in there for the money. Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's got toll roads. Now, maybe you didn't ride on Pennsylvania. I think parts of I-80. Well, when I was driving the cab coming out of Weirton, Steubenville area, going down to West Virginia through Pennsylvania, there's a toll road there. It's like $12 to avoid going into Pittsburgh to get to go south. Yeah, the Pennsylvania Turnpike is a toll road. I think is it I-80? I don't know. I'd have to ask Alex. Alex knows all the toll roads. 80. Okay, maybe it's not 80. But the Pennsylvania Turnpike is a toll road. Uh, uh, and that comes out of Stanton, I think. Stanton, PA, heading east towards Philadelphia, uh, which is further south than 80. But that money does not go to us. It doesn't go to the United. Australia should not be allowed to own the turnpike in Kansas. That money should not go to Australia. It shouldn't go anywhere. If it's going to go anywhere, it has to go to the state of Kansas, the state of Pennsylvania, to make the toll road even nicer. Oh yeah, thumbs up would be great. I keep forgetting about that. But yeah, we're gonna have to. We got to come up with a solution, folks, and we got to come up with a plan that my future grandchildren, if I have any, have a chance to enjoy. I mentioned in my video the only thing about the United States anymore that I'm thankful for is at least for the moment we still have a red, white, and blue flag with 50 stars and 13 stripes on it. That's the only thing left of this country that resembles what the United States of America used to be. No, China shouldn't own far. Nobody should. It's never going to stop. It's too late to stop it unless we go cold turkey. We can't wean ourselves out of this problem. This has to be a cold turkey done, immediate stop to everything. Red versus Joseph Bear. Yeah, I know. I try so hard not to get. I would have talked about building my house, all the positive things. But I mean, I don't know. There's something about those two National Guardmen getting killed in Washington that has had an effect on me. It's like my final straw. I can't take it anymore. That in our nation's capital, what should be the most protected place in our country, and we have some Afghan national afforded the opportunity to kill our soldiers in our nation's capital. That's beyond belief that that can happen. And that has messed me up. It's messed with my head really bad. I don't know how to. I mean, I'm going to have to work my emotions through that, right? That we can't learn from that, you know. And how many thousands and thousands and thousands of those people are over? How many are over here? They didn't work in Afghanistan for the CIA. Um, I think out of patriotism to the United States, they were trying to save their own friggin' skin over there. That's all they were. They weren't helping the CIA with shit. We were told that, but all they were doing was protecting themselves. Yeah, I'll be your friend. That's all that was. So for that, we bring over them and their whole family and their whole friggin' city and give them free reign in this country, whatever they want. That's who we have to get rid of. That's who's got to go. How did that guy even get arrested? When he shot those two National Guardsmen, there should have been 15 other National Guardsmen emptying their weapons into this guy. Right? That's what's happened. There's no reason that there should even have been a person to arrest. They should have picked his bones up off the ground, and put him out in the ocean. That should have been the end of that. If he did that, why are you going to arrest him? Now? All that's going to happen is he's going to get deported. That's where that's where we are. That's what we are turning into. As far as I'm concerned, they have no friggin' rights. Right? If you are not a United States citizen, you have no rights to anything. Right? Nothing. You have no right to be here. Period. Get out. Our government, who's supposed to protect us, who takes an oath to protect us, should be kicking them out. We are going to have to do it because they're not going to. We kick out the undesirables, and then I think Washington will take notice of what we're willing to do to save our country. Right. If the National Guard didn't have weapons, why are they there? What are they doing? You have to get, that reminds me of my friend Ron in Cincinnati. We had a neighbor in Cincinnati who went to Vietnam in 1958. He was sent to Vietnam as an advisor, right? In 1961, when he went, they weren't allowed to carry any weapons. In 1961, he was shot in the head. I mean, he survived, right? After that, the servicemen in Vietnam who were advisors were allowed to carry weapons, but they weren't allowed to carry ammo. How stupid is this? And this was in 1961. They were doing it that way. If you have to have the army in Washington, D.C. to have protection, then give them the tools they need to protect themselves and Washington. How can they not have weapons? What are they there for? What's the point? You know, that's absurd. No, you know why they didn't have weapons? We gave them all to Zelensky. You know, they can have our weapons. We can't have them. Bullshit. I'm just fed up with it, man. I'm lost. I am absolutely lost. All right. Yeah, I got to go too. Man, I'm going crazy. My blood pressure's up now. I'm having anxiety attacks. I got to go find my blood pressure medicine. It just makes me so mad, folks. Thank y'all for joining me, letting me vent like this. Let's get back and forth talking about all this kind of stuff. I do hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. You know, got to spend time with your family, with your friends. I got to. It was wonderful. Gail made an awesome turkey. But yeah, we got to fix the problem here. We got to figure out a solution while we still have a modicum of opportunity to fix it. Right? Let's band together. Let's do it. We're going to figure it out. But everybody have a great night. And yeah, take 2 gummies. That's what I got to do. I don't have any gummies left, but I got a bottle up there with a bunch of buds in it. And I got a pipe. And you know what? I think tonight I'm going to have me a bud. Because all my gummies are in Wheeling. But, yeah, everybody have a wonderful evening. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to be working on the house. I'll be posting better videos. But I'm glad we had this conversation. I hope it, you know, we continue on. Let's get a plan. Let's formulate a group here and get us a plan going. We'll take care of this shit. But this is Joe out here at St. Bernard Acres, out digging the cabin. Go Buckeyes. Peace out, everybody. I'm out.